Hello, everybody. This is DW, Daniel Whited, and coming at you live tonight from Denver, Colorado. And I've got Dr. Kurt Fisnick, and he is with us also, and he's in the Dakotas. I don't know. He's flying over borders and been in Canada, but this is the Doctor's Clinic Call, where the world is your waiting room. And we have so many things that can make an impact and help people when it comes to their wellness and putting themselves in a position to absolutely feel better, do better, and help others do the same thing. And so, Dr. Kurt, anything you want to say tonight as we get started? Where you've been traveling real quick, and when you're traveling, what are some things you do to stay alert while you're on the road instead of fading off by putting calluses on your forehead by bouncing it off the steering wheel?
Well, I never do that. DW, I'll tell you what, I went up to Winnipeg, Canada today. I had to meet with some people up there and working with people really in another country, trying to get them started, get them to take a look at what we have, and sharing some of the samples of the coffee and the tea and a couple of the other products. But yeah, it was a good trip, and when I'm traveling, I'm listening to the recordings. I'm constantly listening to recordings, or I'm doing conference calls. I got to listen to the radio maybe for half an hour on the full 7.5-hour trip. So it was a good trip.
Well, anytime you can catch up on what's going on and have some, I don't know, just having some windshield time and just look at the world through the windshield and making things happen. Well, Doc, you and I discussed it earlier and multiple times. We love it when we have an opportunity to put the brakes on everything and spend some time with somebody that has received quite a bit of support, quite a bit of help from the products, and that wouldn't also with even the compensation plan as well. And Melanie Ward's coming to us from Michigan, and her and her husband are they're amazing people. And they're, and they took a look at Sisel just a while back. I'm going to let Melanie start telling her story. So, Melanie, welcome to the call. We're glad that you're here. And I'm just going to ask you questions tonight. And I might even interrupt you a time or two because I want to get into some things that's happened. But what is, when you look at it and just give us a couple minutes on where you was. You was in the military. We give you double hugs for that. Thanks for serving and being a big part of that. And anyone that shows any disrespect towards you or any of our officers or second responders and all that, I have no respect for those individuals. But from our household and a lot of people here in Colorado and the United States, we appreciate you serving. My dad was a Marine, Grandpa was in Air Corps, and so thanks for being a part of that. But you went through some challenges there. You had some physical things going on. Can you tell everybody who you are, kind of some of the things you went through, and then how Sisel came into your life? And we'll get into the horse stuff in a little bit, but how Sisel came into your life. Melanie Ward, welcome to the call.
Well, DW, thank you for having me on the call. It's quite an honor. And, I joined the military December of 1987, kind of fresh out of high school there. And I got shipped out to Okinawa, Japan. I was being trained as a jet engine mechanic, and I was trained to tear them apart and rebuild them. I loved my job, and I basically followed quality assurance around and picked their brain for my first 6 months on duty, and I could fix just about anything that went wrong with an aircraft. But one day I was pulling a propeller off an engine shaft. We were 15 feet high. It was after hours, so we had left the safety rails down. We knew the officers were all home, beyond 5 o'clock in the evening, and the propeller had swung off that engine shaft and knocked me in the rear end, and I had a bunch of tools at my feet, and I just really think God had his hand on my life because the safety rails were down. It didn't crush me, but I jumped over all the tools, and I fell 15 feet, landed on my feet, and continued working through the day. It jarred me from all the way to the top of my head. It really did sting, but I kept working, and then shortly after that I was running and physical fitness training, and I do a sprint at the end, and I felt my lower back shift, and when I stopped running, my back had pulled me over and humped over for quite some time. I was on light duty and long story short, the meds kept increasing and my pain kept increasing, and eventually in February 1991, I was tossed out of the military in deep depression because I was no longer who I was when I went in. I couldn't run no more, couldn't walk no more, and it was a really tough time, DW.
And during those times, you're probably just wondering what's next, and when you can't hardly do anything. So how long from when you had the injury to when you found Sisel? And that stopped you from riding. You got to the point where you couldn't even ride your horse anymore, correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah, that's correct. For 25 years, as the years went by, I continued to lose many of the enjoyments that most people have that you may take for granted. So when Sisel came into my life, I had moved to Michigan May of 2015. And at the time, I still had my horse, but was having a very difficult time walking. I had facet joint disease, which means the bones in your vertebrae, your butterfly joints, are rubbing together in your back. I also had a condition called radiculopathy. I had half the conduction going down my right leg, confirmed through EMG tests, and then it was going into my left leg. I would have, my toes felt like they were frostbitten 24/7. My ankles were beginning to collapse. When I walked, extremely painful. My shins would burn and my knees would give out, and they actually clicked every time I moved them, made noise. And then my hips would do the same thing. My hips were giving out. I was beginning to fall unexpectedly. And then, of course, you could feel the bones in my lower back rubbing together. So I was just really having a difficult time, and I also had 3 herniated discs in my spine. 2 of them are in my thoracic. So there was times where if I traveled too much in a car and got some jarring, I couldn't even take a breath of air because it would feel like there would be a knife right in the middle of my back. And in 2005, I lost mobility on my right side. They took 2 discs out of my neck and plated it together. And then in 2012, I lost mobility on my right side again, but this time I'm beginning to lose control of my legs. And when I went into the hospital in March of 2013, they actually had to unplug me from the monitors because the nurses kept coming in and telling me to breathe. And my heart rate was really slow, so I think the 2 thoracic herniations that I had was beginning to affect my heart and lungs. They took 2 discs again out of my neck in March 2013, and it's all pinned together. And so for me to sit in conversation with people, I didn't even want to have dinners with my family because just to look left and right or up and down on my plate, I'd be in so much pain, I'd be in the recliner for the rest of the evening. You could hear the bones in my neck just crack. So May of 2015 of last year, Elsie Stoltzfus sent me the coffee and the fire and iced tea. I loved it, got on the coffee, and I did not even expect it, but I threw away 13 painkillers a day that I had been prescribed, and actually I was prescribed more than that, but I tried not to take them, and they really didn't work. But you're in a brain fog. You don't know who you are. You can't conversate. You can't concentrate. You walk from one end of the room to the other to go do something. You forget what you're going to do by the time you got to the other end of the room. You turn around, go back to the other end of the room, and you forget what you're going to do anyway. So you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I was pretty lost, and when I went off the Renovator over the winter, all these symptoms that I described started coming back again. But this time, the doctors had already told me in 2013 that it would be my last surgery. So when I'd wake up in the morning with my arms being numb and losing control of my legs again, when I went off the Renovator over the winter, this past winter, I was really scared. I was looking for my will, my insurance policies, because I really thought this was going to be it, but the Renovator came through, and 4 weeks into taking it again, I was starting to sleep through the night again, and then 2 weeks in, all the pain in my legs went away again.
So that's so what happens, you're going through all this pain, you're on, you said 14 different pain medications and so forth, and you got a phone call from who?
Elsie Stoltzfus sent me the coffee and fire and iced tea, Pennsylvania.
So she sent you the coffee, and in the coffee, we call it the healthy coffee. And just so everybody knows, I'll mention a couple things about the product as well. The coffee has no carcinogens, in other words, cancer-causing agents in it. The coffee is Panamanian bouquet Gation bean. And bottom line is this. It's the number 1 coffee bean for about the last 12 to 14 years by the rated by the Coffee Association. That's kind of a big deal. And then Tom doesn't roast it. He infrared cooks it. so it's not roasted, it's not burnt like toast, and most coffee is. And then he added 4 different agents in the coffee and components that give you some well, we call it health effects to it as well. So it's some of the healthiest coffee you can put your planet on. Then she also introduced you to the Fire and Ice tea. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And so the Fire and Ice tea it has so many different components and what it does to the body and how it helps. And one of the things a lot of people attribute to it wakes up the brain and it gets your metabolism kicked into gear. And so your body was getting some nutrition that it hadn't had. When you're taking it, and what people need to realize, and Doc Fizz may want to pop in for a minute and add on to this, but when you're taking painkillers and prescription medicine, it depletes your body of calcium. It depletes your body of nutrients. Those synthetic narcotics and drugs can deplete your body of essential minerals and nutrients that you need. And so we use medicine, for emergencies and what's going on. But understanding, if someone goes, well, I love my medication. Well, great. But it's depleting your body of nutrition, so you need to double up on your nutrition if you're going to be, totally a person that believes in just chemicals only. And so that's just, that's a scientific fact. It's not even up for debate when it comes to the med stuff. And so you're doing that. Doc Fizz, you want to pop in on anything there real quick? And I got some more questions, but you want to pop in, or am I good to go?
No, keep going. Wow, what a great testimonial. Holy cow.
It's just, this is what she went through. This is her case study experience. And so when we talk about a case study, we don't promise to do this, that, or the other. And doctors don't even promise that certain narcotics will work. They just go, oh, that didn't work, here's another one. Oh, that didn't work, here's another one. Oh, that doesn't work, here's another one. I've never seen someone jump on what she's talking about, the Renovator, and go, oh, that didn't work, and I got to give them something else. Renovator does work. The Fucoidan does make an impact. The resveratrol does make an impact in your life. And people do get extraordinarily relief and help when it comes to our healthy coffee in the Fire and Ice tea, and they get a lot of help when it comes to our Spectrum Max. So now Renovator is a product that Tom put together. It's actually a dual product. We used to have Remediator and Renovator, and Tom saved us about $40 a month combining 2 products together. Brilliant on our part. So Melanie, I don't know if you were involved in the products when they were 2 separate ones. I don't think so. And just right before you came, Tom merged 2 products together to give you a super powerful product. If you're going through the migraines and going through headaches, that product is a big helper to you. Any kind of pain in your body, it's gonna make an impact on it. So you had the surgery in your neck. 2 discs are gone in your neck. Turn left, turn right, look up, look down. You are feeling excruciating pain. You get on the Renovator, you pop off of it. Sometimes you don't know how good something is until you get off of it. So once you got back on it, how long until you started feeling some relief?
I actually had 4 discs removed from my neck, but it was 4 weeks before I could actually sleep through the night. I could only lay in one position, and if I moved, it woke me up to pain. Actually, I could only lay on my right side, and my right shoulder was beginning to feel like it was actually breaking on me. It was even painful to lay on my right shoulder because it was the only spot I could lay in. But, yeah, it took 4 weeks to sleep through the night, and then 6 weeks into having the Renovator back, all the pain from the radiculopathy was gone. My toes felt like they were frostbitten 24/7, and I think I already described all the pains that were going on. But it's gone.
Well, and so now you're back. You're using the products, and you're taking some Triangle Life as well?
Yeah. Anytime, actually, the Super Omega Plus is.
Yep. There you go.
Yep. It has the Omega-3. 5, 6, and 7, and 9, and the Omega-5, my understanding is that it's a stronger pain reliever than a Tylenol or aspirin, and the Omega-7 is a stronger pain reliever than an opioid drug. Now, I was taking 3 benzaprine a day, 3 Vicodin a day, and 9 gabapentins, and they bumped it up to the maximum dose that you can take. They were 300 milligrams 3 times a day. I think it was 2 pills. Dr. Fizz, what's the max? 24,000 milligrams a day?
Of which one?
The gabapentin, the Flexerol.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know they prescribed it for me, and I didn't take it. I ended up dumping it down the drain, but yeah, I don't remember.
It's heavy duty. But Melanie, let me ask you this: so you're taking the products, you're feeling better. Now let's go to life. How did that make you feel?
Wow, that's why I am so happy. You know, when you go from looking for your wills and wanting to call the lawyer and make sure everything's in order for your family, and you get your life back, and like I couldn't even drive 8 miles in my car. I just put, 3,000 miles on my car in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, it made me sore, but I am so much better. And, another product. When I went to Pennsylvania Convention, I put 2,000 miles on my car. And my neck was getting tender. I could feel the muscles in the back of my neck, all up the back of my head, beginning to tighten up. And it really, for me to sit in a chair at a 90-degree angle and keep my head in one position, slightly turned. I was in pain the first night a little bit. And Joe King gave me the RWL 007, and I took 4 pills when I left on Monday, or Sunday evening, and Monday morning, the pain in my back of my head was almost down to 0. Amazing product.
That's absolutely fantastic. So now let's do this. Let's go a little bit deeper in life. That made you feel, you're probably just, well, I know how you feel because we've got a chance to spend time with you. But now let's go to your hubby. What in the world is he thinking at this point?
He's so on fire for Sisel. Oh, man.
What an amazing dude, though. I mean, he just switched on smart. And but what is he thinking about? He's got his wife back. Are you kidding me?
He sells Sisel just as much as me now. And, we didn't even talk about my cancer issues. The coffee in itself took away my need for breast biopsies I was having, my liquid nitrogen treatments on my lips. I wore lipstick all the time. I used to be a singer, so it was always lipstick and all the toxins that are in it. And liquid nitrogen treatments on your lips is extremely painful. They feel like they're on a hot plate 24/7. They crack, they grow fissures on them and bleed, and the liquid nitrogen treatments are just as bad as how they feel. But the coffee in itself took all that away, and meanwhile my doctor's wanting to do bone marrow biopsies on me. She says I'm not producing blood cells, and the coffee, a month later, my blood was drawn, and just on the coffee alone, my blood work come back out of the danger zone. So these products are powerful, and my husband actually was diagnosed with autoimmune diseases, and he's much better. Last year he couldn't get out of a chair, and this year he's able to get up and around and walk around, and I let the product run out on him because he was saying it didn't work. Well, let me tell you, he crashed and couldn't get out of bed, and when the product showed up, he was breaking into that like it was a baby, a child getting into a candy box, and we can't go without our product.
And so is it safe to say that not only is it given you your life back, but it's put you on a mission to where you got to follow your passion, and your passion, whether it's a horse or an animal or a person, is just to help.
Oh, it becomes an addiction when your life is turned around in such a magnificent way where you didn't even want to go outside, you didn't want to have dinner with your family, and then it turns around where you're able to run with such a story as powerful as this. There's a drive, a why. There's not enough no's that can stop me from sharing this product. I will find that one person that wants to change their life with Sisel. I don't care how many no's I get, I will do. And you know what? When you start getting stories, it exponentially grows. So to you new people out there, don't you dare give up. We've got a powerful product out here.
Well, and I mean, but your passion comes through when it comes to helping people. I mean, it's like your hubby was saying. He can't stop you. You won't quit going. You get up and you're gone, and when you get back, you go again. And it's yeah. So I guess your middle name is Call Me Gone, and. That's a blast. Now, let's go to something a little deeper that is about life. What did it feel like to, not just hug and hold your hubby and be with your family and do dinner and all that? That's a big deal. But what did it feel like? And I understand this very well. And those that don't, I hope you catch on to what she's going to share with you next. What did it feel like to get back on your horse again?
Horses are like part of me. It took my husband a while to understand my passion for horse. I have a gift with horses. I was in tears last winter when I thought I was going to have to sell her. But let me tell you, this is how much my horse loves me, DW. My horse got away the day Joe was here Saturday morning to give training. She was outside. I didn't know where she was, and I'm standing in the yard, and she's loose. She could have run miles away. She's loose, and I holler for her. I don't see her, and all of a sudden I hear these feet come running right up behind me. How many people can say they have a horse that when you call it, it runs like a dog, and it knows that it could be free and run forever away, but it doesn't. It comes running to you. My horse loves me so much, and I was actually on the conference call with her today, and with Dan Kennison's call, and I was walking her down the road, and she starts doing tricks left and right for me when she doesn't want. There was a plastic bag laying in the middle of the road, and that plastic bag had her scared, and I was trying to get her to go near it. But she knows that when she does tricks, I don't make her do anything. It's her peace time. It's her rest time. She was doing trick after trick after trick, trying to keep me from making her walk up to that bag. She's blowing her nose. She's giving me sassy pants. She's telling me no. She's putting kisses all over my face. Yeah, I have quite a bond with my horse, and it's such a joy to have her back and to be able to swing my leg up over her. I'm telling you, she's ready to go. She loves to run. Her and my husband and I race on the four-wheeler, and she beats the four-wheeler. She passes that four-wheeler. My husband's eating dust, and we're just all laughing together. So, yeah, we got our life back, DW.
Now, how fun is that? You go from where you can't hardly do anything. You're looking for your will. You're trying to see if the insurance policies, what's going on with them, to where now you and your horse are frolicking in the sun. Your husband's getting smoked because he's trying to keep up with you guys racing. Miss Helen, I remember a call not too long ago, this summer, when you just called and said, "I can race my horse again," and you was in tears and you was excited, and we love that, and hearing that from you. Now we're a little bit running out of time in the sense of, because I know, but let's go to. Now you've had this happen to you, this great gift, this miracle of the Maurer mission, and the miracle of the passion of the Maurers has come through the products, touched you, touched your hubby, touched your horse, and now so many people are going to be listening to this call and gathering in information from this call. But you reached out and touched a couple other people, and you've had some people that you've touched, I think even a family member recently. You want to share anything about some of the challenge they were going through and what the products have done to give them some strength to get through some stuff?
Yes, DW, I have a family member who was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer, lung cancer, both lungs. There was 5 tumors on the one lung, and it's in her spine. And also, I have another cousin that was diagnosed with myeloma, myoplastic carcinoma of breast cancer. Very rare, but not real hopeful. And she got on the products, and she's went through 8 chemo treatments. And when she sits beside the rest of the people that have chemo, people can't believe she's in the same category because she looks so healthy. She's on the Triangle of Life. And then my cousin with the stage 4 cancer, liver and spinal cancer, on August 1st, they took out her kidney. It was completely encapsulated with cancer. And I cried. I'm telling you, this is a calling from God. I used to sing professionally for the Lord, and I traveled in churches all across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Wilkes-Barre. I've even been in Ireland with this voice. But, when I thought my calling was to go back into singing, but when God gave me my life back, and with Sisel products, I realized that my calling and the fall that I incurred, which I thought ruined my life, and hated the fact that I even joined the military for years. Now I know why I fell, and now I have a story, and I'm sharing it. And my cousin got on this, also the Triangle of Life, and after they took her kidney out, she was filling up with fluid to the point where she couldn't even breathe. And twice I talked to her on the phone, and we really thought we were going to lose her. But she went into the hospital. They took 1.5 liters of fluid from the outside of her lungs out twice. And Laura Bacchini and I went to see her on the 28th of September, and we both left her house feeling like she's a survivor. She didn't look like the same person I'd spoke to just a week or two before, where she couldn't even talk, or she was so out of breath. And they did CAT scans on her Friday, the following Friday, right when we were going down the Pennsylvania Convention, actually, the same day, the 30th of September, and they found that her tumors have shrunk by 50%. And it was supposed to be CAT scans for her baseline for her chemotherapy. So, to find out that your cousin her life is turning around, and everybody thought we were going to lose her. It's just an amazing, amazing story to know that Tom Nauer's products are so powerful, and fucoidan has been scientifically based to cause cancer apoptosis, to stop the blood flow between cancer. We can't say that Sisel products will cure, heal, or treat, but we can talk about the science behind it. It is just so amazing. I know that God has called me to do this. I have a purpose back in my life. There's nothing more fulfilling to have answers and stories come back and people say I'm better. There's nothing more fulfilling in your life. You will never be happier with any other job in your life, so go for it.
So when you got the news, did you do the happy dance?
I cried for 45 minutes, DW.
That's not funny, but it's funny,
It is. And, I literally do. I pray. As I'm driving, I say, Lord, give me the right words to say. Open the heart. Have these seeds fall on good soil. And may they be watered. May those seeds grow. And may there be stories. And may these crops begin to bloom and bring forth fruit. So we should be praying as we go. We have something powerful.
I big amen to that.
You bet.
Amen to that. Well, here's a thought, it's just even going through what I went through. It's something Miss Helen I believe in real strong. Doc Kurt, same way. Dan Kinnison, same way. All of our teams this way, from Sisel top to bottom. We believe in prayer and products. Faith without works is dead. So we pray. Sometimes our prayers like, God, I could really use some help right now, which is one of my favorite prayers. And then I start doing what I can in the natural, believing what He can do in the supernatural. And you're seeing results. We're just so proud of you. And Melanie, thanks for being part of the call. And there's probably another 5 or 10 other stories I wish we had time for you to share. We might shelve those for another time. So just kind of keep those notes down of what's going on out there. And anytime you get a chance to type up and put some of these testimonies out there, let me know, and we'll blast them out to people so they can hear some things as well. That would really make a big difference. If you're listening to this call for maybe the first time, or you've been listening a while, what you are going through matters, and it's a big deal to all of us. And, you can listen to what Melanie's talking about, using the Triangle of Life, using the, just if you're a coffee drinker, the healthy coffee. If not, we have Essentia Tea that you can jump into and even get some of the components that's in the healthy coffee. You can use a product called Thermaline 500 or 5,500 and use that product. But she also mentioned tonight using Renovator that gave her a tremendous amount of relief. Another thing that helps when you're trying to heal the body up in the joints is getting in bone health is getting calcium K2, which is a stellar, off-the-charts, crazy good product. Another thing that gives nutrition to the bones, the muscles, and just the body is our Sizzling product. If you got sugar sensitivity, the Sizzling that's vanilla is going to be the one you want to grab your hands on. If you don't have sugar sensitivity, you can jump in on the chocolate anytime you want to. And so jumping on those products, going into the omega, all the fish oils. Well, in that omega, the products you talked about, having the omega-3 fish oils in the 6, the 9, the 5, the 7, and getting into understanding what those do. There's also coenzyme Q10, which is like nutrition for the heart and what it can do. And it helps tremendously with circulation. When she's talking about getting circulation down into the toes and in those areas, that fucoidan's a big deal. But that coenzyme Q10, that's going to be a difference maker on getting circulation down into there, because it has the coenzyme Q10 has a component in it that strengthens the bottom of the heart, which helps push the blood and oxygen that's in the blood to the vessels that are in your eyes and in your fingers and in your toes. And she may not even know that. Well, why is that helping? Well, here's why it's helping. There's always a science behind it. You don't need to know, but based on results, you'd always talk about results. And Melanie, you've gotten tremendous results. You've touched a lot of people. And so we just want everyone to kind of just get with the person who invited you. If Melanie's willing to throw her number out and maybe you can text her with a question from time to time. She's really swamped with helping her team and her group of people, but she might be willing to do that. That's up to her. And so maybe answer a text question or something along those lines. But Dr. Kurt, what a great call we had tonight. And Melanie, if you want to share your number, that's cool. If not, that's totally cool, and we can go from there.
No, can you still hear me?
Well, yeah, you're sounding really good.
989-324.
989-324.
Correct. 7122.
7122. Now say that one more time.
989-324-7122.
That's perfect. We appreciate you, and from Miss Helen and I, and even Doc Viz, double hugs, and you're absolutely amazing. Doc, what are you thinking of this call tonight? My goodness.
Wow, what an amazing testimony, Melanie, and thanks for taking the time to share it with everybody.
Glad to be here, Doctor.
Well, I tell you what, for everybody, that's the Doctor's Clinic call tonight. I will encourage you to take this call, have someone listen to the first 10, 15 minutes, and I would tell them real simple, if you like what you're hearing, listen on. If you don't, and then discard it. Once they've heard it, they're going to have some questions, and you can get back with them and begin to think about some of their challenges and maybe what products would possibly give them some relief. That would be our advice. And for the Doctor's Clinic tonight, this is Daniel Whited. We appreciate you being part of it. Melanie, congratulations to you and your hubby and your horse and all the success that you've had so far and all the people that you're going to be used to speak to and help with. Doc Kurt Fizz, we're anxious to hear what's next on next Doctor's Clinic call next Tuesday. Everybody, that's a wrap for the night. Thank you for being part of the call. Blessings to y'all, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
This call will be available in about 20 minutes.